Hello everyone, you're welcome to a new video. I'm Adedoyin Abraham. For those who don't know me, I'm a junior doctor, GP trainee, second year GP trainee in the United Kingdom. From the title of this video, you already know what we're about to talk about. That's money matters. I'm basically going to be sharing what I earned as a junior doctor on maternity leave in the UK. So, if that's something you think you'll be interested in, please sit back, relax. I would have gotten a glass of something nice to drink, but I've had so much to eat. So, please enjoy this video. I'm going to be looking through my book because I had to jot down some points so I don't miss out on anything. Yeah. So, first things first, to be able to qualify for maternity pay by your employer, you need to have worked with them for at least 1 year. I think it's around 9 months, because I remember it's something like by the time you're 15 weeks pregnant, you should have worked for up to like 26 weeks or something. But basically, I think it's just safe to say for at least a year you've worked, 9 months to a year you've worked with your employer, and then you're going on leave. That way you're sure that you're entitled to maternity pay by your employer. Next thing is you need to apply for your maternity leave by at least 28 weeks pregnant. Thus, to be able to give them enough time to fill up your role, basically prepare for your maternity pay, because obviously they need to prepare for what's coming. They're going to need to keep paying you and then get someone else to be doing your job and pay them as well. So to be fair to them, that's something not too much to expect. So at least by 28 weeks, you should inform your employer that you're pregnant. You inform them of your EDD, your estimated delivery date, and how long you're going to be taking off work, which is basically my next point. You need to decide how long you want to take off work. For me, I took 1 year off, and that's because I planned towards it. I discussed it with my husband because there were a couple of factors that instigated that decision. It was my first baby, or rather it was my first baby. Still my first baby. I wasn't sure I knew what I was going to be doing, so I just decided I'm going to take a year off. I already saved at least 1 year before I got pregnant. I already knew I was going to, or at least I was hoping to be pregnant by this time, and I would want to take as long as I can off work. So I started working towards it and saving towards it early enough, which made it easy for me. And that's why I'm making this video, because these are the simple things that I don't think I had, that I tried to find when I was pregnant. Like, what's the pay like? What does it look like? Didn't find any YouTube videos on it. But thankfully, I knew a couple of people who were just coming back from maternity leave, and they gave me a few tips here and there to help with it. So the next point I'm going to be talking about, I'm still going to get to the actual pay slips. Don't worry, just give me a few more minutes. And the next point I'm going to be talking about is how you want to be paid. So basically, you get paid for 9 months. You get paid full pay for the first 3 months, half pay for the next 3 months, and then 1/3 pay for the next 3 months. After that, you don't get paid, and you are entitled to 52 weeks of maternity leave maximum, which is 1 year. So basically, you can choose to get paid the way I've just explained, which is the full pay and then half pay and then 1/3 pay, or you can choose to calculate, like, if you've decided how long you want to take off, calculate how much everything is, and then you get paid an equal amount every month until you go back to work. That was what I wanted to do, but for some reason I didn't realize how I was supposed to pick that option when I was filling my form, so I just left it, and I was paid like full pay and then like the other way, decreasing pay, basically. So sorry about my voice. I'm currently battling, I mean it when I say battling a cold, but I already made this video once and for some reason there was no audio, so I'm making it again and I'm really determined. So let's start with the pay slips. I'll try and put the pay slips up somewhere here so you can look at the pay slips while I'm talking. I won't go into much detail about all of the pay slips. I'll just start with the basic ones and I'll probably not end up showing everything. I might just end up rattling through some of the figures by the time I get to some of them, especially if the figures are the same. So I started my leave on the, I think it was like the 24th of June 2022. My expected or estimated delivery date was like the 8th of July, but I had my baby, I think 6 days early. I had my baby on the 2nd of July. Now, even though my maternity leave started on the 24th of June, I stopped working by like the 6th of June, and that's because I had like a very uneventful pregnancy. It was just very chill. I had no issues, so I didn't need any of my annual leave, so I just left all of my annual leave till the end of my rotation to like a terminal annual leave to go into maternity leave, including bank holidays. I had like 13 days, so I went off work early. So the first month, that's June. Let's see, what did I get paid in June? As I said, it was 24th of June. So June, I'm sorry, I have to look through all of my pay slips to find it. June 2022. Oh, back up a bit. On a regular as a GP trainee, junior doctor, not basic pay, but what you earn at the, or what I am supposed to, I'm saying supposed to because that's not what I was earning, just for a few reasons. There were a lot of issues here and there with pay, but ideally what I should have been earning as a GP trainee, doing like GP, no weekends, no nights, is 2,800. That's not what I was earning because there were a few issues with not just me but a lot of other people's pays around then. But that's 2,800, supposed to be my regular take-home pay. Now, in June 2022 when I started, I earned 2,635, and that was my pay up until, obviously I said I stopped work 6th, but that's because I was on annual leave till the 24th, and then I was also paid maternity pay for just the many few days in June. So I'll show that in the pay slip. But at the end of the day, I took back 2,635. By July, I properly started my maternity leave. I earned my maternity pay by my employer, OMP. Take home was 2,600 as well. And that's why I'm saying, like, my actual pay, even though it's supposed to be like 2,800, by the first month it was less than that. But I already knew that was going to happen. I was already expecting that, so I didn't fight it. So 2,600 was what I earned. And you also have the option of choosing if you want to keep paying pension or if you want to opt out of pension for the duration of your leave and then opt back in when you come back to work. I didn't bother because I just couldn't be bothered with all the logistics of doing all of that, so I just left it. I just kept paying the pension. But obviously, if you stop paying the pension, you can see here that would have given me an extra £295 to work with. But I didn't stop it just because. So by August, I was now earning both OMP and SMP, statutory maternity pay. And by August, take home was 2,300. Now remember, this is still just the second month. The first 3 months I'm supposed to be earning full pay, but you already started decreasing. My friends already told me that's what they do, that's how it works, and if you call them, they give you like a whole list or explanation of how it's calculated to get to that. I didn't bother because that's the least of my worries, the postpartum phase. But yeah, 2,300 was what I earned from August, and then September, which was supposed to be the last month of full pay, I actually earned 1,800. Now this is supposed to be last month of full pay, but obviously I didn't get paid in full, so it started reducing from here. For September, October, October 2022, yes, and November 2022, I earned 1,800-ish pounds, and that made me happy because I honestly thought it was going to keep decreasing, but it didn't. So I was happy with that. But by December 2022, this is supposed to be like the half pay month, I earned 1,565. As I said, this could have been better if I decided to opt out of pension. I didn't think it was worth it because don't forget that I would have been taxed including this pension amount, so that would have still, I don't think it would have been significant enough for all the stress, so I just left it. By January 2023, I was now earning only the SMP, Statutory Maternity Pay. And now January, I think I stopped getting paid in like March. So by January, I'm supposed to be earning 1/3 of my pay. But obviously, 710 is less than 1/3 of my pay. But that's what I earned. By the time they take out the pension and national insurance, what's left is 710 pounds. February 2023, it was 661 pounds. And then by March 2023, which is technically the last month that I actually got paid while on maternity leave, I earned 581 pounds and 10p. That's why I said I'm making this video so you have an idea of how to plan. All of these figures are based off, that's why I'm giving like what I was supposed to be earning normally, because it's subjective. If you're like a nurse or like a middle grade doctor, obviously your pay is different, so what you'll be expecting will be different from this. Could be higher, could be lower. This is based on what I was supposed to be earning if I were still at work. So I didn't get paid. As I said, I took a year off from June, so I didn't get paid April, May. I didn't get paid for April and May. Even for March, I didn't get paid for the full March, because technically the 9 months would have ended like 24th of March ish. So like from 24th of March to like technically 24th of June 2023, I wasn't getting paid. And then June 2023, I actually got paid, because technically my maternity leave ended on the 23rd of June. I'm not even sure I have these exact dates correct, but I'm just giving you something to work with in case you're calculating 20. So if it's 365 days, it will be like the day before. So 23rd of June, my maternity leave ended, so I still get paid for like the 30 days in June. So I still get paid for like the 7 days left in June. So I got paid in June 2023 £631.33p, and that's because my actual maternity leave ended 24th of June. So the rest of I technically didn't go back to work until like end of August, because even though my maternity leave ended, I still had my accrued annual leave, which is basically, even though I was on leave, they still count it as I'm working. So all the annual leave I would have had if I were actually working, I'm still entitled to them, even though I was on maternity leave basically. So I've accrued all of those days, including bank holidays. So they added all of that, and that came up to almost 2 months extra, which I wasn't complaining about because I still got paid in full, which I'm about to explain going forward. So basically, in June, I got paid for those 7 days extra, because it was technically me on annual leave. So to them, I'm back at work, but I'm on annual leave. So I got paid in June that, and then in July, I got paid £2,984. that made me happy, because obviously this is coming from like 3 months where I wasn't getting paid at all. And obviously I just had a baby, not just at this point, she's almost one. But like there were extra expenses. You buy diaper, you buy wipes, you buy milk, like there's so many other expenses. So it was a nice thing to start getting paid again, even though I was still home. So yeah, that was July. For some reason I had some pension arrears, so I got paid my basic pay and then flex GP pay. So the two things they would have paid normally anyway. And then August, I actually officially went back to work on the 21st of August, which means that for almost the whole of August, technically I was still on maternity leave. But I was going back to A&E. That was my first rotation after maternity leave. So that's why on the pay slip for August you are seeing like the nights and weekends and things, because I was now in A&E, even though I don't think I actually did any, because it was induction. I didn't do any nights or weekends. But yeah, that's part of my pay slip. And I earned 2,790. This is what I'm saying, like even though I actually worked in August, I earned less than July when I actually wasn't even working. I don't know why. But yeah, basically that's how the pay is calculated in all of that. And obviously from August going forward I started earning, because I was now officially back to work, so I just kept earning as I would have based on what I was actually working. Now the next thing I wanted to mention is, even if you even if you don't qualify for maternity pay by your employer, if you haven't worked long enough to be able to qualify for it, you still get the statutory maternity pay, the SMP that you saw on there. You're eligible to be paid that by the government. I can put the link for the application for that, or explaining what that is and how to apply for it and if you're eligible, in the description box, just so you have an idea of if you're actually eligible for that. But if you don't get paid by your employer, you're still entitled to statutory maternity pay. And the last thing I wanted to mention is, obviously this is for you to be watching this video. I'd like to assume that you are pregnant, planning to be, want to have an idea of what to expect when you're expecting, technically. But it's a time where you want to conserve resources as much as you can, because you're going to be expending them in other ways. So basically, a couple of things that you're entitled to when you're pregnant: you're entitled to free prescriptions. So as an average person in the UK, even though you get free NHS treatment in the actual hospitals, the consultations and all of that, your actual medication or prescription you need to pay for. But when you're pregnant, you get free prescriptions. I think the baby also gets free prescription. You get free prescription when you're pregnant, and then up to 1 year postpartum, you get free NHS dental services. Because otherwise you need to pay for your dental services. It's very difficult to get into free NHS dental services these days. You have to go private. But when you're pregnant, you're entitled to that. And the next thing is your annual membership fees. So for example, for me, I usually pay like annual membership fee to the GMC body, which is like the body that regulates doctors in the UK, and then to RCGP, which is the body of GPs. As I say, I'm a GP trainee. So those two things, I was entitled to like a discount because I was earning less in that year. Usually I'll pay 400 and something each year, every year, for each of these things. But first, my GMC, I usually pay it in October. My leave started in June. By the time I was informing them, I can't remember when it was, but it was way later in my postpartum phase. I think I was at least 4 or 5 months postpartum before I had time to think of all of these things. And I was already thinking, oh, do I need to pay the full thing next year? Especially for GMC, oh, that year for GMC. And then they told me, oh, because you're on leave, obviously you're entitled to like an income discount. And then when you go on the website, it says, yeah, you can apply for the discount. But then after you go back to work, they actually send you an email just to confirm, like, did you actually earn, I think it's less than £33,000. I knew I was going to be earning less than that because obviously I had like income gap where I wasn't earning at all, so I was sure that it was definitely going to be less than 33,000 in that year. And the year is not January to December, it's like so I usually pay GMC October, so it's from October to October. And obviously I went on maternity leave in June, so from that October before the next October is technically the whole year, so I was definitely going to be earning less than 33k. So I applied for the income discount, and I also got a refund on what I had already paid from the year before, because part of the year before, from October to the next October, from like the June, I was technically off work on maternity leave, so I was entitled to a refund. I can't remember how much it was, but they refunded part of my money, and then I paid less for the next year because I was on leave for more than half of the next year as well, up until August. The other thing was the RCGP. I also got a refund from RCGP. I paid that in April, but I got a refund of almost £200, and then I paid less in the next year because my maternity leave cut across the 2 years, April to April and then October to October. I don't know if you get what I mean. So it depends on what body you are paying your annual licensing fee, membership fee to, but you definitely be entitled to a discount, I think. And the only other thing is if you pay indemnity insurance. I don't, because as a GP trainee I'm entitled to like blanket insurance by the insurance company that covers GP trainees in my area. Yeah, so I don't have to. But if you are someone that actually pays for your own indemnity insurance, you can always stop it, obviously, because you are not working. You don't need insurance if you are not working. Stop it, and then when you go back to work, continue it again. And if your payment already covered part of the months where you were not working, I'd like to believe that you're entitled to a refund. I'm not sure, you have to check that. I'm just talking based on what I think should be entitled to a refund. But yeah, I think that's most of what I have to share about how I got paid while I was on maternity leave. I hope that this has helped you to make a decision, because I was trying to find something like this to help me make a decision on how long I wanted to be off work for. I'm glad I still feel like I made the best decision for me. We made the best decision for us. And this is almost, at the moment that I'm making this video, I'm like 1.5, almost 18 months postpartum. So I'm back to work now. Everything is back to normal. We are grinding it and working hard. So I feel like we made the best decision for us, and we survived it. We were able to survive through the difficult times. So I hope this has helped you make a decision on all these simple things, at least give you an idea. You're able to get an estimate of what to expect, so that you're able to make a decision on what you can afford to, or how long you can afford to take off work. Or if you can take as long as you need it. It's a whole new human being that you are bringing into the world. You're going to need all the time, all the resources, and all the pampering you can get. And if you live abroad as well, you need all the time you can get to recuperate. Me, I needed the time to get used to life as a mom and just gently ease back into life as a working mom. And it's happening now. It's working perfectly. You're not perfectly, but we're grinding it, as I said now, so I can't complain. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like the video. If you actually liked it, please click on the like button. Share it with any of your friends that you think might be planning on getting pregnant anytime soon, to give them an idea of what to expect, because I know money matters is not something people are really happy to jump and talk about. So share it with them. If you have any questions, you can always ask me in the comment section. If you're shy, I will put my Instagram handle somewhere up here. You can always send me a DM to ask me questions, and I'm very happy to answer. Please subscribe to my channel. This is why I opened up this channel, to answer these questions and help people with these things that I needed help with and wasn't able to find answers to. And thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.